Uh-huh. I mean, Queen Elizabeth's poop stinks too. No one craps roses, and if they did, they would hate the thorns. Pooping is humiliating and can make anyone feel incredibly self conscious, fearful of the possibility that their shit smells worse than anyone else's. The good news is that it probably doesn't. Unfortunately, it can be difficult to reason through being self conscious. I used to hate pooping so much that I delayed the process, ultimately later birthing Nessie, the Loch Ness monster. However, I learned that this was not healthy, and needless to say, I always felt like shit. This is how I embraced crapping and minimized the gross factor. 1. Buy wet wipes in bulk and wipe with two at a time to keep your hands clean with no chance of rip through. I keep wet wipes at work, at home, in the car, in my luggage, everywhere. I keep back out wet wipes everywhere. Typically 10 to 12 packs of wet wipes at work. Regular dry toilet paper is seriously Stone Age. First, the end user has to crumble or wad up dry toilet paper in order to develop the traction necessary to dislodge corn, undigested berries, or other partially digested food and poo artifacts. Otherwise, wiping the dry paper smooth and unwanded will only skim over the poo depository and have limited effectiveness at actual removal, but instead only smear shit all over your ass. To make matters worse is this contingent of stingy, tightwad, cheapskate, old school generation of fathers who never got over growing up just after the Great Depression and take out their financial insecurity and past trauma by imposing their self-righteous value system, limiting the amount of asswipe that those in their captive household and guests are allowed to use in order to penny pitch. Meanwhile, spending hundreds of dollars per month in booze, cigarettes, sports crap, while everyone else's ass itches and stinks. The solution is wet wipes, and plenty of them. Because not only do wet wipes actually cleanse and not just skim and smear, but wet wipes can even be wiped without crumbling and wadding, and their porous nature still allows for shit grabbing extraction and effective removal. 2. Buy paper toilet seat protectors. My bare butt to this day has never touched the surface of a public toilet seat. Never, not once. I am fearful of ass disease and toilet seat cooties. I will trip or squadiply before nesting down to lay a brown egg. 3. Hand showers are awesome. At home, after Beethoven has had his bowel movement, then, after turning the nozzle to jet, turning down the water pressure and carefully adjusting the temperature to warm, almost hot, then you can douche out yourself to the point in which all possible shrapnel and residue is hereby eradicated, leaving you just the pure tender you left. Of course, extreme caution should be used regarding water pressure, because you could really mess yourself up if your douche nozzle was too strong. Start with very low pressure and work your way up, but do not blast the inside of yourself. 4. Go over extra underwear. The best that money can buy. I have almost 100 pairs of Calvin Klein boxer briefs that absorb and sponge all traces of sweat and feel great. After a poop and a douche afterwards, then I always put on a pair of underwear, sometimes changing my underwear 6 to 10 times a day to always feel as fresh as possible. If my underwear comes off for any reason, then a different fresh pair goes back on. Every time. 5. Probiotics and smooth move hot tea. Years of delay have caused my train to take a long I hear myself. Um, no, there's like one. It's 11 paragraphs left to read.